What's up guys, Shuichi here, back at it again ranking the Call of Duty Zombie perk locations. With this video we're going to wrap up the ranking Black Ops 2 locations by finishing every single perk that we have not named yet. This is excluding the main 4 obviously. And all these perks are going to be one video because I'm not going to go making one video for one Deadshot location, one video for one Tombstone location. You get the point. This time around, instead of jumping from perk to perk, I'm going to jump from map to map. That way I don't go, hey, Stamin-Up, Transit, Stamin-Up, Origins, and then go back to Tombstone on Transit, and then jump to the next map. That way it's consistent. We don't have to revisit Transit 20 times in the video. Anyways, let's get started. First up we have Transit, and the 2 remaining perks on that map, Tombstone and Stamin-Up. Tombstone's location is going to be a bit weird because you have to go through a one-way path to get it. If the zombie's already in there, you're going to have a hell of a time trying to get it. Because as mentioned, it's a one-way path and you're going to have to squeeze past the zombies or kill them all in the process. If you do make it to where Tombstone's at, you got to make a lava jump, which a lot of people tend to miss, and zombies can body block you as you make that jump. But if you make the jump, the location isn't that bad. I'd give the area itself a B, but I'd give trying to get there probably a C, because there is no way in hell I want to slide through all those zombies and try to make that jump with all the zombies jumping back and forth. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people fall in that pit. So I think since I'm gonna have to include the one way all the way there, I'll probably give it a C. Stamin-Up. Stamin-Up is in a really open location. There's 2 doors plus a staircase you can go up. There's a barrier blocking that, but with the multiple routes you could go, I think it's a really easy perk to get. As you can see, this room is very wide open. There's a few obstacles in the way, such as the pool tables, but again, it shouldn't really be any hindrance. I'm gonna give this one an A. That covers all the perks on Transit. Time to move to Nuketown. We don't have to cover Nuketown. Time to move to Die Rise. Mule-Kick's gonna be in one of the multiple elevators on the map. It's RNG each time, plus you gotta guess when it's gonna get to the floor that you need it to be on. It's not readily available mid-round, and given the elevator locations it gets spawned in, I'm probably gonna give this one an F. Who's Who, on the other hand, is not in elevators that are as bad, so I'm gonna give this one a D. I'm going to try to mimic how I gave Speed Coolers a D and I gave Jugs an F because they're in the same spawn area basically. And I need to keep my rankings somewhat consistent. So if Jugs gets an F, Mule-Kick's going to get an F on this map. If Who's gets a D, Speed's going to get a D. It only makes sense. Lastly, on this map, PhD Flopper is going to get an F- because the elevator seems to be broken and does not stop at the floor that PhD Flopper is on. Please fix the elevator, as I severely wish to get my PhD Flopper. Thank you. With Mob of the Dead, we have Deadshot Daiquiri, which is going to be in a fucking horrible location. You have 2 tight doorways that are really tight to get through. You have a spawn barrier right behind the perk. The room itself can probably only fit 5 people. Like, why is this even a room to begin with? It's so jam-packed. You get the point. This room is tight. I would not recommend getting this perk mid-round because you're gonna go down. No ifs, ands, or buts. This location gets an F. Electric Cherry's location, on the other hand, may seem tight, but there's 3 pathways you can go, plus 2 ledges you can jump off of. I find that the catwalk leaves enough room that you can maneuver around any zombies in the pathway, but again, you can jump off the ledges if you start to get trapped. This location's gonna get a B. I thought I was gonna end up ranking it lower until I went and replayed the map, but I was like, oh man, this is pleasant. Why did I ever think this was a bad location? Again, B tier. PhD Flopper and Mule-Kick on this map are gonna get an F- because I would rather not go for a swim in zombie infested waters, get over there, and not have a chance to enjoy my drinks before having to get back to the fight. Plus, I don't even know if those machines are running with the way they're tilted over like that. Dear maintenance team, please get the perks installed. I would really like to have a cold PhD Flopper. Thank you. F-. Next up we have Buried, and with Buried we have Stamin-Up in one of the worst locations, mainly because of the witch's house. Unlike with Double Tap, you have to go all the way through the witch's house, risking all that money. If you make it through with that money, then you have to go through a maze, then you gotta get all the way past the maze, which changes each run, to the little spiral staircase, and it's kind of a death trap back there. I definitely would not make Stamin-Up one of the perks I purchased on this map. I'd probably put it as a D. Mule-Kick's location can be hit or miss depending on whether or not you have the barricade open. The staircase alone makes it a bit difficult. It's in a small room. There are multiple routes, but it's still small routes to get there. I'm probably going to give this one a C because I really hit the staircase right there, and the likelihood of you coming from the tunnels is kind of slim. So either way, you're going to be stuck taking that staircase. It's going to be a C. And then we got Vulture-Aid. Vulture-Aid's area isn't too bad actually. It may seem kind of difficult at first because the ways to get inside of it, there's only 2 narrow paths to get to it. But usually the zombies are funneling from one path so you can cut and take the other. Then once you actually get the perk itself, you can run a tiny train right there. I really want to give this an A because you can run a train in the area where Vulture-Aid's at, but I think it's going to get a B because of the little pathways to get to it. Finally, we have Origins. Oh my god, I'm getting through this a lot quicker than I thought I'd be going through it. That's probably because I haven't really went on any tangents this time around. Good job, Shu. First up, we have Stamin-Up. While I would usually argue that the generators get in the way, I don't think Generator 5's location is much of a hindrance, mainly because it's straight lines. Plus, it's not really like a dip and cut type of situation like Juggernaut's is. I think with how easy it is to swoop in there, grab the perk, and get out without getting caught, I'm probably going to give this one an A. I mean, look at it. There's not really any obstacles in the way. And for the last perk on this list, we're going to have Mule-Kick. Despite being under Pack Punch, this is going to be one of the easier perks to get as well, as there's 2 different directions you can approach it from. It's very open, and you can drop down once you get it, run a circle inside the mound. There's a very slim chance of getting caught, and that's only if you're trying to bum rush your way back out. As you can see, either direction, easy. Usually I'd argue about these small cutoff points, but it's easy to slip by the zombies on here. This one's gonna get an A, which is weird because for some reason I thought this location was worse than it was. But no, this thing's easy. I mean, Mule-Kick's not the perk I ever grabbed though. I'm not a big Mule-Kick guy. If I'm grabbing anything, it's typically Jug, Speed Cola, Quick Revive, and probably Stamin-Up. I mean, I do love me some Double Tap, but Mule-Kick, not usually a go for me. With that, that's gonna wrap up this whole list. I don't think I missed any perks. If I did, whoops. I'm not gonna be ranking the individual survival maps. So, sorry PhD, I'm not gonna visit you on Mob of the Dead. Across the screen, you're gonna see every single perk from each of the maps and what they scored. As usual, if you want to disagree with any of the ratings, go ahead. Tell me, rah, your list is wrong. Give me your opinion, dude. Like, tell me why you think Stamin-Up on Buried isn't a good location. Or tell me why you think Tombstone is in one of the worst locations imaginable. Let's have fun in the comments. I like arguing. With this series wrapped up, I think we're gonna hold off for a minute before I go to World at War or Black Ops 3, try to release a video or 2 that's not rating perks. Because come on, that's gotta be boring to watch, if it's the only thing you get to see. If there's any type of video ideas you want to see, make sure to leave it in the comments, because as I like to say, revisiting the older Call of Duties is like beating a dead horse. There's not much content to get out of them. You know, for my next few videos, I think I want to do stuff like content I think would have been cool to see. And also release a video discussing what I think makes an Easter egg great and what makes an Easter egg horrible. I think it's about time to wrap this video up. I didn't make it to the 10-minute mark. I'm not going to keep talking for another 2 minutes, because then I'd be dragging a video on that doesn't need to be dragged on. As usual, like, subscribe, comment, do what you usually do, and as always, don't die.